Edition.
Welcome back. Chinese President Xi Jinping opened the ruling Communist Party's twice-a-decade National Congress today morning at the Great Hall of People in Beijing. Xi went on to comment on Hong Kong's jurisdiction and opposed Taiwan's independence, while he said that the presence of Chinese patriots at the helm of Hong Kong's administration led to its notable betterment. He said that China will fight separatism in Taiwan, he reiterated, which is part of Chinese territory. Now, this comes after a rare and dramatic protest in Beijing that criticized President Xi Jinping. The protester had mounted Sutong Bridge in Beijing and draped two large banners calling for an end to China's harsh zero-COVID policy and the overthrow of Xi Jinping.
世界又一次站在历史的十字路口，何去何从，取决于各国人民的抉择。中国始终坚持维护世界和平、促进共同发展的外交政策宗旨，致力于推动构建人类命运共同体。中国坚定奉行独立自主的和平外交政策，始终根据事情本身的是非曲直，决定自己的立场和政策。事业中来，维护国际关系基本准则，维护国际公平正义，坚决反对一切形式的霸权主义和强权政治，反对冷战思维，反对干涉别国内政，反对搞双重标准。
We're joined by Maroof Raza, Group Consulting Editor of the Times Network. Let's go across to him. Good evening to you, Maroof. Thank you for giving us your time. Now, very rare scenes of protest against the regime witnessed in China. How do you see that? Also, the statement that came in from Xi Jinping on Taiwan.
Well, there is a lot of unhappiness amongst the Chinese people with regard to the harsh anti-COVID measures that have been adopted more recently. I mean, for the smallest of reasons, the whole colony or complex is locked up. There are people who are given penalties. There are various other measures which people are obviously very unhappy about. Now, as far as these protests are concerned, I have a slightly different take than what most people are saying. Yes, there is a possibility that there would be protests on the streets. Remember, even under the earlier Chinese regime, there was the Tiananmen Square standoff between the protesters and the government till the Chinese government of Deng Xiaoping made sure that such things don't happen, and it hasn't happened in the last 15-20 years, but there could be a possibility that some people are expressing unhappiness. The other possibility is, since it's not a very large incident, it could be a staged protest to show that there is a certain degree of resentment in China, and so China is some form of a regime where people are allowed to express their resentment. So we'll have to see till the details come out eventually. As far as the other announcements by President Xi Jinping, one of them is about Taiwan. Now, Taiwan is to Chinese rhetoric as Kashmir is to Pakistan's rhetoric. The only difference is that in the case of China, they can actually invade Taiwan and have reasonable results. I wouldn't say substantial results, because Ukraine has shown however powerful your military is, you cannot roll over a smaller country or a smaller terrain or a territory if the people stand up to resist, and with the kind of American technological support the Ukrainians got. As far as China is concerned, what China is really looking for, and Mr. Xi Jinping has been providing that, is a more muscular approach to world politics, is a more aggressive China. I mean, the gloves are off. China is no more a country which professes that it has a peaceful rise and is not a challenge to the geopolitics of the world, but China is in various ways, and he is really strengthening the military in China. Now, the general opinion is that he'll get his third term and become chairman, Xi Jinping, from Secretary General to President and now chairman if he gets his third term. But there's that odd possibility he might not get a third term, because that really requires the amending of of the constitution, which was imposed in Deng Xiaoping's time after Mao, that every leader will have only 2 terms. So we'll have to wait and watch whether he gets a 3rd term. Everyone is saying he will. I'm not putting my bets entirely onto that. Back to you, Swati.
Right. Maroof, thank you very much for your perspective. Thank you for your views. We're moving